everybody, Pursuit here, playing some 7 Days to Die and giving a demonstration of my Nomad Wanderers Lifestyles mod. I just started up a new game here so that I could show you as it starts off. Welcome, Nomad Wanderers. Now you're prepared to explore freely, use scavenger materials better, and have less clutter for better inventory management. So a lot of this mod is to try and make it a little easier to get into your inventory without needing a backpack mod. Mainly, I've only really edited the XML files, but I've been able to do a lot of, I think, interesting ways of getting around some of the modding in the game without having to add major mods. So it's actually a very easy install as mods go, but I have a lot of content in it. Let's go on here. Major content and recipes are locked behind leveling and perks, but balanced with the class system, skills, and starting gear that give a focused jumpstart on surviving. Plenty to do for various playstyles. Enjoy. So, I'm glad I'm in a regular, probably a plains biome. Maybe not enough trees for a forest. I guess it's a plains. So let's go ahead and continue here again. Not the regular starting screen. Before I continue, though, you'll also notice I got a few UI tweaks around here just to show a little bit more information as you're going about doing your daily activities to keep you up to date without having to go into the menu stuff as often. So continue. Now, as it says, please excuse the quest notification noises. That is because the quests, I use the quest section to list stuff about the classes. So initially there's 14 classes. So initially there's gonna be around 14 extra noises here saying that quests have been finished. That's all it's gonna be for the whole game playthrough, just here at the beginning. So I don't think it's going to be too terrible, but it gives a lot of information for those people who don't want to read a wiki or anything like that. So you can just jump in, look at the information, and go with it. So view class info in the quest section. Classes have specialized gear and skill sets and are initially limited by locked recipes not in their class. So it tells you what to do here. Place the class selector block, which is this one right down here, on a stable surface. Repeatedly punch the block to cycle through available classes. When you find the class you want, upgrade, right click, with the block with the class selector trophy, which is down here, to get the class loot chest. So I modified the first quest. There's only one initial quest here, and it's just a few of your basic whatnots. So let's go ahead and click on continue, and we'll show how to go through that. Then I'll explain some of this stuff going on over here. So there you go. See all the classes bumping up here. So if we click OK, we go up to the quests. All of the classes are listed up here. From Shaman Herbalist down to Evil Genius. And it just lists in here mainly what they are. So the Evil Genius is very knowledgeable about many deadly creations, but poorly suited for day-to-day survival in a zombie apocalypse. So then it lists the skills that he has, some of the skills have been modified here. So his has construction tools, science, chemistry, cooking, stations for chemistry, cooking, and I'll explain these. We'll go look at the progression. It's talking about the skills progression here. But several of those, then you got some recipes. Skills unlocked by recipes because, skill unlock recipes. Sorry, I can't even read my own stuff correctly. So the skills section, between perks and action skills, you will get some extra stuff here. Excuse me, I had to cough a little there. Gear. You got the chemistry station, wrench. So these are some of the things that he's going to start with. Now, don't think that any of these, this is a lot of stuff listed here, but a lot of stuff is locked behind skills. So you're not going to be able to, like, someone like this, like I said, not ready for survival. He's going to have to level up before he even gets some pretty basic weapons and tools and, well, tools. He's probably going to be okay for tools, but some, like, he can't do much at all besides the traps and switches, and so it really limits who you are. The marathon runner here, he's really limited, but he's got really good uh, perks for his athletics. He's got a lot of the really high skill stuff here, but he can't do a lot of the basics. Let's go ahead and before we pick our class, I guess I should probably show you this. So I've added some skills. So we've got the pistol conversion skill, which lets you make silence and automatic weapons, silence automatic pistols by converting them, of course. But you have to get to level what? To get the silence, you need level 33 in handguns and gunsmithing 3. You need, for the second level, you need handgun 66 and gunsmithing 6. So you're not going to get those right off unless you start with with a certain character that has those. I also combined the round crafting so that this wouldn't go down too far. Hope a zombie doesn't sneak up on me while I'm doing that. Skills here, I've separated a lot of the skills. So you have your archery, but you also got your archery weaponsmithing. You've got your blades, you've got your blade weaponsmithing, you've got your blunt, and you've got your blunt weaponsmithing. So each of those are separate, and it's going to cost less to level up one of these, but it's going to cost more to level up all of them together. So it's kind of the way of balancing that if you don't care about blunt weapons, or you don't care about knives, or you don't care about archery, you don't have to level those. You can get faster on the level that you want, but you're not going to know everything. You're just going to know that group set. Same with tools here. We've got construction toolsmithing and mining toolsmithing. Those are both separate. And we've got workstations here. So building stations, we've got, I say it up here, which ones it unlocks. So the forge, recycler, cement mixer, and gas forge. So you can craft using a forge that's fueled by gas now. The gas forge is pretty much the best one of all of the workstations. But I've got these set up in different workstations. I've got workstation tools, which you'll have to get also in order to build the workstations. So you're going to work for these. Let's see. Yeah, so you got a chemistry station set. You've got a workbench. The workbench is by itself, and you've got guns and tech stations, like an ammo puller for taking your ammo apart, and a what I call it, the compact weapon station, which we'll show a little bit later here too. So I've got a few more perks here and there. Some armor you can unlock through perks. Some of the stuff that you couldn't normally craft, you can get through here too. Like heavy armor crafting will eventually let you get bandit armor. None of this is really cheap, so a lot of stuff you have to purchase to get places, but you'll eventually get there if you want to. Casing currency is now that the bullet casings are the currency. I did away with the casino coins to free up some inventory because you're going to have casings probably anyways. And to me, it makes for a better monetary system. I really want to get to showing you how this thing down here works, but let me explain a few more things. Let's see, we've also got, let's see, if you get really, really high, you have to get a lot of points to get these. You have to be level 10 in a few different things to get to these, but they're really not, that's like if you could never find any, which you're probably not even going to want these, but some people might. We've got a food canning perk. We've got several perks here. Cooking and chemistry. Put it in with the science here. We've got, you can small engine lead battery, but those are expensive to get to. Look at this. Construction tools, smithing 10, science 10, cooking, chemistry 10. So they're not cheap to be able to do, but when you're high level and you've basically won the game, you can buy these and take out some of the hassle of going and finding it if you want to. We got the gas can science, which you can only get gas can. There's no more gas can schematics, so you have to purchase it here. Herbalist seed mix, which lets you do some interesting crafting for like resin and plastics and uh, some some composite materials you can make with that. What else do we got going here? Let's see. I don't think I added anything else there. So, let's jump in and put down this block already. Because I really wanted to get this first, but there's so much else to explain. Make sure there's nobody around sneaking up on me. So, I'm going to put this down on a level ground. It's usually pretty good, not a big deal. Let's go ahead and put this down. So I get credit for placing that, and now here's the cool part. I loved doing this. It worked really well. So if you punch this block, it switches to each of the different classes. So you've got Shaman Herbalist class here. So you just punch through these. There's Builder Bob class. There's Cosplay Miner Steve. Extreme Hunter. Gun Show Enthusiast. Medical Know-It-All. Soldier of Fortune. Cage Match Gladiator. Outdoorsy Survivalist, Marathon Runner, Shady Entrepreneur, Domestic Goddess, Daryl the Redneck, who can get access to a mini bike before anybody else. So, hey, if you want that, that's what you get. And Evil Genius, who obviously you can tell is going to be good with traps. So if you just keep cycling through them, you'll see other ones. You can pick this thing up if you need to and then place it back down again. So you just cycle through these, and I think I'm going to go to, I'm probably going to do a couple of them extra anyways, but let's go ahead and go to the Gun Show Enthusiast, because there's a couple of things I wanted to show on him that I have put in here, which I really, really like, and I hope you will too. So when you get to the one you want, you grab this little trophy here, and it says what to do here, so it's pretty straightforward. I did a lot of stuff with localization files, in English only, of course, because I don't speak any other languages, but hopefully it's helpful to a majority of people to explain what's going on this mod without having to do a lot outside of the game. So you go ahead and click on this, and you use it as if you were using any of your upgrade tools like your hammer or your wrench. So you right click on it, and it changes into the loot chest. So now it's the Gun Show Enthusiast starting loot. So here it is. We go ahead and I'm just gonna click R to grab everything. Chest goes away, and we got all this good stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and just wear this. So you start with some gear. You're not a nobody amnesiac who doesn't know what's going on. You actually have the ability to survive a bit here because you're not totally useless to the world. So not everybody starts with guns. Some people start with tools. Some people start with guns. Some people start with nothing. It just depends on what you want to do for what you start with. This guy has 3 guns. Him and the Soldier of Fortune are the ones that are really going to have the guns because, hey, they like guns, but they don't have a lot of other bonuses you wouldn't otherwise get. And then there's this bonus skill thing, Gun Show Enthusiast bonus skills, which if you can read this, it says what they all are, but they're also listed in the quest section too, so you really don't have to read that. It just tells you all the bonus skills, recipes, and gear that come with it. So go ahead and read it. Specialized in ammo crafting, is great with pistols and good with rifles. So I'm going to accept this, and that will give me all the skills that I have. Make sure nobody's sneaking up on me still. So it's going to go through and list all the things that I have, and yes, he can do the bullet casing currency crafting. But let's go ahead and look at his skills now. So if you look at his skills, you can see 2 on the pistol conversion, 3 on the round crafting, so he knows all the round crafting, 81 on handguns, gunsmithing, Wild Bill, I renamed that one, that one's the outlaw. Deadshot, some on rifles, Nothing on shotguns because he didn't really care about them, I guess. What I'm going at. Nothing in archery, nothing in blunt weapons, nothing in bladed weapons. So he's going to be at a disadvantage. And like for instance, if you look at bladed weapons, wait, I just heard somebody. Let's crouch for a moment. I don't want anybody sneaking up on me. Uh, that moment when you wonder if everything's going to sneak up on you and kill you. Yes. So notice here, bladed weapons. There is now a scrap iron knife that unlocks at level 20. You can't get the hunting knife until 40. The recipe is still out there in the world, the schematic. So if you do happen to find the schematic, you can get that. The machete is only here. Um, the machete perk is gone. I basically added all these, took over the machete perk to do the bladed weapon smithing stuff. So level 60 you get the machete, and level 80 you get the elite survival knife, which is kind of like the steel upgrade to like the other, like your mining tools. Kind of the same thought along that. It's a better knife, which is good, but like level 20 is the first time you get a knife. So this guy right here, if he wants to do anything with meat, he's going to have to get to level 20 before he can do anything other than use a bone shiv. So he's locked out by a lot of different things. Um, so in ways this is easier, and in other ways it's harder. Like you feel a little bit better at the beginning, like you can actually do something, but it's going to go downhill really fast if you don't pay attention to what you're doing. Let's see, we've also got, what does he have on us for? Construction tools. I gave him some for construction tools because he has a weapon bench thing, and I figure he knows how to make ammo, so I gave him some stuff on that. There is, on the construction tools now, same thing. A lot of these will have your major action skills ones will have things that they unlock. Not all of them, but many of them. So I got a pry bar that I added to the game. Scrap iron axe, a little bit better than the stone axe. Claw hammer, wrench, and nail gun are all unlocked in here also. So you won't be able to build them until you get your construction skills up, either by buying the points or by working your way through it, by using the tools and getting points that way. So whichever way you want to go. Let's see, he's got construction tools for. He's got both of the guns and tech stations because he's got the ammo puller and the compact weapon station, which I will show you in a moment after I look through the rest of this and just show you if there's anything I want to say about his skills and his bonuses and why or why not. He's got some good things. So he's got a little bit of science because he can, he can make ammo and whatnot. So he's not an idiot. He's just not skilled in certain things, and he doesn't have any of these bonuses down here. Just the basic science. So let's go ahead. I don't think there's anybody around here right now. They're keeping my area clear for the moment. So let's go ahead and look at this right here. This is one of the earlier things that I did before I started tweaking a lot of other things. Oh, should I go to that or should I? I want to explain this craft. Let's go and do that. The craft trader news thing. So this little selected class gear is just to let me know that you've got your gear and give you points for getting it. But there's also this thing, and it says on here that if you scrap it, you'll get an extra skill point. So any of the schematics that you don't want and you scrap, you will get this same thing. So if I scrap it, I get this little brain food thing here. Yum. Gooey brain goodness. So you gain a skill point if you read this or any other schematic. So you can sell it to the trader, you can give it to somebody else, or you can read it. So we go ahead and accept this, and we get an extra skill point. And I wanted to show you this one right here too. Recipes. because this is the basic starting stuff. I want to show you so much. I want to show you so much good stuff here. So this notice that says craft trader news and location. So the regular one, after you do so many things, you initially get you finally get the trader location. So this there's a recipe here. Use money, um, trader news and location. So my premise on this is that the cash in the world is used by the traders to put advertising on to where their places are. So if you look closer at the cache is what I'm getting at here. So you craft this, then you have this thing here, and it says old cache with note and location. Oh, somebody's sneaking up on us. Buy and sell to the trader, blah, blah, blah. Don't die, hate to lose your business. And so if we read this and make some money, blah, 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 accept. And I am just going to cheat right now. Well, no, let's not cheat. Let's just kill him with my scoped 44. Yes, the 44 is now scoped. Just like the Blackhawk, my favorite gun in Fallout 3, or one of my favorites. But, as you notice, it doesn't shoot all the way over there. It's only short range, but it does scope anyways. I could change it to long distance, but I didn't feel like it really merited that. Too much overkill on it. So let's go ahead and put down. If anybody else comes and bug us, we'll try out our automatic pistol that we converted, because we know how to do that as the gun show enthusiast. So this right here is the compact weapon station bagged with ammo puller. So if we go ahead and put this down, you'll notice it says you can pick it up. You can also, if you punch it or hit it with something else, hitting something else will be much faster. You'll notice down the bottom right hand corner it shows I got a couple things. I got a bag, weapons bag, and an ammo puller kit. So if we use the ammo puller kit, you can put that down, and then break it open. So this thing you can, oh, go away, lady. Everybody's gonna come bug me now. Is it on now? Is it on? I think it's on. So as you notice on this, it says this will do 9mm bullets now. If you punch it, it will change between ammo types. So the 44, 762, shell, slug, rocket, and then it goes back to the kit, which I'll show you what you can do with in a minute. But to do this, to use this thing, let's go ahead and break down one of our 44s, or a few of our 44s, because I want to show you something. Let's grab our hammer here, because, oh, are you coming for me? Okay. Take that. So this is my silenced silenced automatic pistol, which I converted, which you can convert if you have the perk. Okay, I think she's dead now. So to use this thing here, you notice it says 44 right now. If we upgrade, it adds a bullet. If you break it, it gives you back the parts. So I got a tip, 3 powder, and a casing. So every time you do that, you get parts back. And I wanted to do like 10 or 15 at a time, or 50 at a time, but I had to leave it at 1 because the game gives you too many experience points for crafting a lot of stuff. So you can only do it 1 at a time, but there are a lot of crafting recipes to convert bullets back and forth. So this isn't really required. So if we want to convert some of these, I'm just going to do a few of these so we have some stuff to work with. So with it empty, see, notice it says press E to pick up. You can't pick it up when it's like this. So you have to get the ammo back out, but then you can pick it up if you want to. But really the preferable way to do it is to change it back to this to pick it up, because we can use it to, I'll go ahead and show you here what you can do with it. if we... So, really? Are you going to come bug me? Oh, got a lucky shot there, unlike last time. Um, so for this right here, if we take this bag, so this compact weapon station is kind of like the workbench. So I'm combining some ammo crafting over here, except you can't do all of the large things. It's mainly weapons, um, tools, clothing, your smaller stuff. But it also does some of this by using fuel. So like if you want to cook up a bullet tip, you use gas, and you can actually use. I'm letting you make bullet tips out of casings, which isn't a really good thing to do. In general, you're not getting any benefit from doing that, but if that's what you have, you can make. You're basically making yourself a brass bullet tip. Is what you're doing. What you can also do. Let's type in bullet. Uh, why no work? There we go. Bullet tip. So you can also do it from lead, which apparently I have to change the recipe because... Oh no, you can't craft this one because this is the forge recipe. This one is the one you would do if you had some lead. You could craft it using gas. These things are not going to be accurate, but there's not a lot I can do about it because there's no way to change the information here. So you just have to kind of know what goes where, and if it says craft, you can craft in the station. If it doesn't show craft, then it's for a different station. They're really close to the vanilla stuff, but it's a little bit different. A little bit more complex, but not too hard to learn. Beer, but not beer. So, if you wanted to, you could craft, like, say, some... Let's craft some more 9mm. So we can craft 9mm from just the parts. We could craft that up from the stuff we just collected from the 44s. You could also craft this one using 762s. So you're going to get 3 because you're using some casings, some tips. And it's basically straight over conversion if you were to pull it apart and craft it over. So you don't have to use the ammo puller if you don't want to. Same with the 44. And you can also do it using lead, but you're using gas to create... Basically, you're making the lead into bullet tips and then crafting it together. So it cuts out some of the middle steps here, and you can make the ammo puller also. Well, you can make the 9mm. This must be... I think this is your inventory, so you can craft it back to the one you can place. So that's what it is. So let's see, what else was I... Oh yeah, so I was going to show how to pack this thing up. So make sure you got everything out of it before you try and pack it up. Go away. So you use this... If you right-click with this bag on it like you would a repair tool, it will put it in a bag. So now it says it's compact weapon station bagged, so you can pick it up and put it down, unlike the regular weapon stations. And if you also put the ammo puller kit and right-click with it... No. Wait, does that do it? No, that's not how it works. Sorry, I'm forgetting my own stuff. I tried to make it work this way, and I don't think it ever... Let's just see if it does. I don't think it ever did. No, it didn't. But then you just use a tool to upgrade to add the ammo puller to it. See, as you notice, it took it out of my inventory. So now this is a compact weapon station bagged with ammo puller. So it's just a compact version of the weapon station you can pick up and put down, and it has the ammo puller with it to save some inventory space. So that's it right there with all the bagged... It says bagged with ammo puller. Wonderful. So that's in our inventory now. I'm just going to set the clock back a little bit because I want to show you some of the other new items, and I don't want nighttime to sneak up on us because though I love playing the game and I love nighttime, I don't want to try and do it while I'm explaining things. So let's just go into developer mode and roll the clock back to, I think 4 o'clock is still, let's do like 6 o'clock so it's a little light out. Okay, so what else do I have to show you? I got lots of other stuff to show you. So as you notice in the quest here, trader news and location. So this pointed out where the trader is. So he's going to be, let's just fly over to him because I want to show you what we're doing here. So we fly to the trader who's not very far away. Who is actually broken for the first time ever that I've seen. This is not my thing. This is the game breaking stuff. This is a good time to show an example. That's terrible. The trader's actually not here. You ever notice some of these where they're not there? I hate that it happened on the one. This is the first time it's happened. I knew it was going to happen sometime. When I try to show it, it's the first time that happens. Go figure. So let's just teleport on the map somewhere else, so we can show how it's working. Let's let's go. Now I'm in developer mode. I can control right click and we can go somewhere else. What the heck is going on? Oh yeah, now we're in a plains. Did this say? I think we're in a plains now. No, we're in a desert. On the edge of a wasteland. Interesting. Hopefully a dog doesn't sneak up on me. So, we got our cash back for going to the location. So that's at least good. So let's go ahead and craft another one. So I can show you how it's really supposed to work. Silly game. That will rarely happen to you at all, but you'll get your money back if it shows you a location that doesn't exist. Anyways, so we went ahead and we crafted that. Let's go ahead and read it. And you can craft it back in old cache if you want to. If you're like, oh, shoot, I didn't want to do that. Then you can craft it back. Let's go ahead and read it. So, blah, blah, blah. Show me where my new location is. Let's look at the map. The nearest trader is seriously over there? It looks like it is. Let's see how far away that is. Okay, so the trader's now over here. So you can do this as many times as you want to with cash because it's now they're advertising. So let's go ahead and just fly through this area. And go right over to the trader there so I can show you that, yes, it actually does work and there are actually traders. The only way that this would not work is if the Fun Pimps did an update to the game where they changed the map generation, which is possible for them to change the map generation. But they probably won't do it at this point. If they change the map, the way the map generation works, it may break your ability to find traders. But hopefully they won't do that. Otherwise, you should be able to find it all the time. Oh, I thought that was the... I thought I got... I stopped because I thought I was in the radiation, coming up on the radiation zone. I'm like, how is there a trader behind radiation zone? Wow, this is like... Okay. So this is the closest trader, which is really far away. So let's go ahead and just control click it again. So we're like right over next to him. And I don't know why it's making that noise twice. That's really weird. But it's one of those bugs they have. So, look, it is an actual trader, and we're going to get our money back again. So we got our money back, so we're advertising. So there you go. That's how it works. So every time after this, it should take you to the closest trader. That first one, though, isn't that just the way it works? You go to show something at the most important time, and it doesn't work because there's a bug in the game. So anyways, here we are, and I'm flying around. La-di-da-di-da. Let's go across the road here from the trader. Hopefully nothing's happening over here. Go away, zombies. Oh. So, I'm hungry. Let's go ahead and show you. The game now has can of meat. Replaced all the canned food with just can of meat, so you don't have to worry about carrying 12 different types of food around. and can of veggies. So there's two, a can of meat and a can of veggies. One of them gives you, let's just type it in, can of meat gives you fullness and some minus on your hydration, and can of veggies gives you fullness and hydration bonuses. So you can craft these. You can food if you get the perk for it, and you can craft these to carry around. There's no smell in the game right now, so you don't really need to, but in the future, hopefully that will be a benefit, being able to can your food. Just not right now. So let's show you some of the other stuff that this mod has after I get something to eat and drink. We'll just drink some water. Flying around uses up a lot of stamina and food and water, so yeah, that's why I'm so thirsty and hungry. But I can see how thirsty and hungry I am because it shows it right here. It also shows the time of day here while you're in your menu, so you can know if you need to stop, get out your menu, and run. Because it's getting close to nighttime. So, like I said, the different classes here have different benefits. Like the Shaman Herbalist here gets the Herbalist Seed Mix perk, which allows you to scrap different vegetables and seeds to be able to make resin and plastic and composite materials. Because there's composite materials for being able to make composite arrows, for being able to craft parts of the compound bow, for being able to craft plastics to be able to craft feathers. But those aren't just right off the bat things. You have to learn the skills for them. So it does take a while to get to them. But like this one shows here, has a mini chem station. So let's go ahead and type in. Let's see if it says all of. I think I have it set up now to do. Yeah, to show all the stations. Each one has a station name on it. You've got different. So you've got cook stations. You've got a shoddy campfire, which is pretty easy to make, but it's basically your campfire without a pot or a grill. You've got your cook station campfire, which requires a pot for the recipe, but does not have. Let's go ahead and show you. Does not have a. I've removed tools from the game because this is a Wanderer, Nomad Wanderer mod pack, so carrying around a lot of tools is just annoying. And that's the way I like to play, so I took them out. There could have been other ways to do it, but that's the way I wanted to do it. So the campfire here also works as a land claim block, which would be very overpowered for competitive multiplayer. But it might be a way to make it okay that way still too. But it works great for single player and multiplayer, I think. Cooperative play, of course. Let's see. So let me just show you here. The campfire requires you to have a cooking pot. So you have to have a cooking pot to craft the campfire. Like I said, there is no more tools. The tools would be up here above, or would be right here actually, but anyways, above these. You still need wood, and you still have output slots, but there are no longer tools in the game. So, well, tools are in the game, but you don't put them into the station. You use them in crafting recipes. So it says stations here still too. So we've got different levels. We've got the shoddy campfire. We've got the regular campfire. We've got the mini chem station, which I'm gonna go ahead and pull one of those out just so you can see it. I'm proud of this one. I like the way it turned out. It's pretty cool. So this one, yes, it's a toilet that you can cook in. It does most of what the chemistry station does, and cooking food also. So does the main chemistry station. So if you want to cook food in them, you can. So you don't have to have a campfire and a chemistry station. If you have a chemistry station, you're good to go. You can cook all your food in just fine. The main difference between the mini chem station and the regular chem station is that you can't cook shale. I might limit a few other things, but that's what I just started with. Uh, Converting shale to gasoline will not work. But let's go ahead and cook something. Let's get some meat here or something so we can cook. Oh, we don't need to. We don't need to actually cook anything. We just need to have some. We need to have some wood. So let's just grab a stack of wood. So you can see it on. I love the way it turned out. Yes, I'm bragging. It turned out very nicely. So if you turn it on, there you go. Check it out. It's cooking away. It's basically just a campfire with some lighting on there and some little bit tweaking for positioning. But I think it worked really good for a in-between station because I really don't want to carry around a big chemistry station. And I figured if you're smart enough and you learn the recipes, you should have an easier way to do it. So you can cook your food in this. You can cook a lot of your chemistry stuff. Just your little basic one. And I'm still going to do some tweaking to it, but I had to release it eventually. Let's see. I forgot if I made it so. Yeah, apparently it doesn't set you on fire. I don't know if the campfire... Does the campfire do that anymore? Let's see. I forget whether it actually starts you on fire now. It doesn't anymore? Okay. Whew. Wasn't just me. Let's go ahead and turn these off. What else do I need to show you? Let's see. Let's go back to the stations. So, like I said, shoddy campfire, mini chem station, and then chemistry station are the different levels of this. So those are the cook station ones. We've also got the forges. I forgot the forges. The forges. So the forges, we have a simple forge, which is basically your forge without an anvil. We got the forge, which is a forge with an anvil, and the anvil is part of the recipe. And then you have the gas forge. Let's go ahead and put one of those down. Now I could have done some cool stuff with it. And maybe now in Alpha 16 you can do it, but it doesn't really turn on or anything. It's just a desk here that works as a forge and also works as a workbench. So this is like your end-all and do-all station here. It uses, there's a blowtorch as part of the recipe. It uses gas to cook most of its stuff. So if you like look down here where is something that we would, yeah, use gas to cook a lot of it, and it doesn't turn on because if it turned on, it leaves a fire behind when you move it until you reset the game, and I didn't like that. It was annoying. So it doesn't do anything except it does craft a lot of stuff. It crafts almost everything you could possibly think of besides cook station stuff. You can't cook food on it. I'm sorry, you can't cook food on it. You'll have to do something else for that. So that one takes a blowtorch, some like workbench. I have a new piece called workbench parts. That's what I named it, workbench parts. That's required to craft the workbench and any of those weapon stations. But there's also the forge, as you notice. The forge no longer, if you want to do stuff with metal, I removed the smelting section, where you have all the like 6 items that are listed that have how many parts are in them. Well, I can show you them because I actually moved them to a recycler. If you still want to get the most out of your metal, you put down a recycler, go and you throw your stuff in here and it'll smelt it down and you can cook it into the basic components here. And then move them into a forge to do other stuff with them. So the mechanic is still there, but I removed the smelting section for a couple of different reasons. One, I didn't like having all the stuff that was too hard to access. If you wanted to move, you couldn't do anything with it. And really, if you're cooking in a forge and it stops, all the stuff you've been melting is going to harden up again. Whereas in this, you like throw everything in and then you pull some of it out, and I didn't really take it out because of that, but I don't feel bad about taking it out because of that. Uh, but I did it a lot to do with not having to have all this stuff that you can't like clean out of it easily. Because I mean, seriously, you should be able to pull it out faster and easier, and it just wasn't there. But I also made it so steel tools. Let's get some food. So that steel tools, uh, anything that's made out of steel, is now required to be made in either the main forge or the gas forge. So let's go ahead and get some. Let me just grab some stew because that's easy, and some tea so we don't starve here while we're trying to explain stuff. So I also removed steel itself, um, and the recipes that require steel, I either moved to forged iron, which forged iron is now called processed iron. So you either cook all the recipes that had that, uh, it had steel, you have to cook in the forge, or if it's stuff you build with, I think most of it, I either used the processed iron or mechanical parts for like vaults. Use you use the mechanical parts to upgrade to the vaults. So that's the way I got around it. Because the inventory is so small here. Without using a backpack mod, I was trying to shave some of this off that I really didn't feel like was that beneficial. And at the same time, I made some of it harder, being you have to cook it directly in the forge. So no more running around with steel and just making weapons in a workbench. You have to do it in the uh, forge or gas forge. And a lot of them repair now with the processed iron rather than steel. I think I got most of them. I noticed one right before I put it out that I had missed, so hopefully I didn't miss anything else. Yeah, that's hopefully. And then let's explain the. Oh, be quiet. You're just complaining about being too hot, aren't you? 90 degrees. Let's. Last one, I'm going to finish explaining the weapon stations. Well, let's get the rest of it away. Weapon station. Okay, so the weapon station. No, get rid of those bags. We'll explain those bags here in a minute too. There's so much to explain in this that I'm just going to keep going forever and ever. And when you get bored, you can leave and come back another time if you want to know what's going on. I probably still won't remember everything. I'm doing this on a live stream. There's nobody here right now because I haven't live streamed in like over, I want to say like 6 or 7 months. Or done any videos in a while because I've been working on this mod and just didn't have a good working space to do any of this stuff, to do any video stuff. Um, so we have we got different levels here. We've got the weapon station. We got the learning station, which is there's a perk called destructive learning, which allows you to learn some of the recipes you might otherwise find in the world. Not the actual recipes, but different recipes, so you can't scrap them for the brain food thing. But you can, like, you could learn to make an assault rifle. If you find 4 assault rifle parts, you can destructively learning how to craft it, but it will also destroy those parts. So if you don't have 2 of each of those parts, you won't be able to build one. You'll just be able to destroy what you had to learn the recipe. So yeah, careful with that. But it does let you get some of those you wouldn't otherwise get it if you just found the parts and not the recipes. I don't know how helpful that's going to be in the long run, but it's something. It's just different options of different ways to play the game is what I prefer. The more ways you can do something, the better. Just as long as it doesn't break the feel of the game too much. Uh, I like to have options on how to play. So this one, all of these require weapon workbench parts. I think is that what I called it. We'll look in a minute here. To craft, this one takes 1. The workbench takes 2. I think these take 1. And there's 3 versions here because one of them is the combat weapon station, one of them is bagged, and one of them is bagged with the ammo puller. So it's basically like 3 tiers on most of my stations, about 3 or 4. So just being that the others are easier to pick up and move around. This one, I think, is this one I think if you destroy this one, obviously if you do this right now, because we got the campfire down, we can pick it up this way. Because the campfire is our land claim block, so we can pick it up the regular way. I think if you break it, let's see. Yeah, if you break it, you can take this one with you. So it's kind of an intermediate one to this. Not as good as this, but if you wanted to use this as a mobile workbench, you could. Like I said, options. Let's see what that one was called. Was it called the? We can probably do it here too. Workbench hardware. That's what I was thinking of. So I basically made it so that then a lot of the parts you took to build the workbench are now a workbench hardware, and then to actually build the workbench, use the hardware and add some pipes and a wrench and a hammer, and you're ready to go. Or you can. There's different ways to do it because basically it's the same amount of parts if you use the learning station in place of it and some wood. Same with the gas forge. There's a couple of different recipes for the gas forge depending on what you're using. Whether you use the compact weapon station, which has a blowtorch in it. So all these are basically the same recipes, or really close. There's just different ways of combining them to get to the same thing. As you notice, the gas forge does take the tool and die set, so good luck finding that if you want the best of the best. And then it's got the gas forge base components to kind of tidy up all the parts that it. Let's see what it takes to take up gas forge base components. So yeah, you need some concrete, some clay, and a lot of iron to make this little thing here. Let's look at. Yes, there is more. There is more. There's lots more. I've been working on this thing for a while, and I built it for myself. I really started building it for myself, and then I figured, hey, let's share it. So I added some more stuff that I think people will find more balanced and just fun. Fun. Should we have some fun? Fun's always good. So let's go ahead and look at the. I mainly added items. I did a little bit with blocks, more with items. Okay, so one thing I did was make non-functional versions of weapons. As you notice, they're in red here. So I'm just going to take this because it's easier to just take the parts. Oh, I already know the pistol though. Let's get one that I know I don't know. Like this guy does not know shotguns. So let's grab the non-functional shotgun. Take it apart because I don't want to find all the parts. Let's just use the version that I made there. So you know, if I click on this, oh, I do have the I know all the recipes apparently, but it doesn't matter. If I didn't know the recipe, you could say assemble. Oh no, I don't. Okay, it shows assemble because I can make the non-functional version. Silly me. If I make the non-functional version, you can put these parts together, and you think, well, that's too easy. What about having the recipe? Well, you have a shotgun here, but you can't load it, you can't shoot it, you can't even aim with it. It just allows you to combine these 4 parts you find in the world, kind of like you're stuffing them in a bag, to save space. Again, I liked the idea of saving space, so that's what I did. So yeah, you've got all of these. You've got all your basic weapons. You've got your nail gun, your chainsaw, and your auger, and also your compound bow as non-functional versions. So you can just put the parts together. You're good to go. You just can't shoot with it until you find the actual recipe, take it apart, reassemble it. Got it? I hope so. Like I said, here's the Elite Survival Knife. There's my auto pistol. We've got the silence pistol, and we've got the. Oh, yeah, we've got silence, and we got the silence auto pistol. So 3 different ways to combine it. Just has different parts depending. There's a silence barrel and auto parts that you convert the actual parts, not the gun. It's also got. Excuse me, I got a cough. All that talking Take a sip here too. So the other thing you've got here, hovering over the pipe pistol here, you can craft parts for a pipe pistol, which will allow you to shoot any ammo you want. Yes, it looks like the 44, but it doesn't work like the 44. So you can load up any of these. So like right now it's on the 9. It does have a hitting action, which I might remove. I don't know. It might be overpowered if it's got the wrong ammo loaded, but I don't think it's too overpowered because it's a weak gun in the first place. So it shoots, and then it takes a while to reload. So it's only a single round at a time. You can put in other ammo if you want to put in 7.62s, but this is definitely not a good gun to try and take on a horde of zombies. It's just like, hey, I found a bunch of ammo. I don't have a gun yet. I want to craft some. Yeah, see, we've got the wood grip. We've got the nail parts. We've got a pipe, and we've got a tape receiver. So you can basically make those parts, assemble them. You don't need a recipe to do any of that. You're just kind of scrapping together some parts and making a really garbage gun is what you're doing. Oh, as you see on here, duct tape and leather. Let's display that real quick. Leather and duct tape. Okay, duct tape is basically, how did I put it on here? Duct tape is basically the leather of the New World. Oh, I must have done it somewhere else. So anyways, leather is not in the game anymore, but when you scrap like animal hide or you break furniture that would give you leather, it gives you duct tape and leather. So all the recipes that would have taken duct tape or leather are all combined now because, let's face it, you can use duct tape in place of leather and leather in place of duct tape. And it's one less item to have in your inventory. Thought I heard somebody who's sneaking up on me. I'll shoot you. I also added an unload to every single weapon, so if you decide you don't want something, like I don't want this pistol anymore, I can unload my piece of ammo and toss it, and you don't have to have the recipe. You know, because usually you have to click assemble to unload the guns, but this way you don't have to if it uses the unload. What else was I gonna show? So many things to show. Let's see. Let's go back to the items here. Just kind of scan through here. See what else I might have done. Like I said, I put the scope on the 44. I did make a. Where is it? Oh, here it is. A scoped version of the compound bow. So, you know, you can basically, it's really hard to do this way because you need 3 fingers to scroll while you're pushing both those buttons. But you can basically just zoom in on your targets a little better. And to make up for that also, and make a better flying one, I also added, where is it? Yes, I added composite shaft, and composite arrows and composite bolts, which are higher level crafting items. They fly a little bit better without losing. I think they fly faster and they don't have as much drop on them. So you can really use those pretty good if you've got all the perks for it and you want to become a bowmaster. Go ahead and do it. I also added the Hawkeye perk to make so you can do more damage with your bows also. So the bow could be a pretty nasty weapon if you level it up appropriately, or if you get the character who uses it best, which is probably the Extreme Hunter. Yeah, he's got archery 90 and archery smithing of 9, so he's the one that's going to have the good bow. Oh, I've got to eat something, drink something so it'll stop grunting all the time. Stop making so much noise, buddy. So let's see. I've also got a rapid reload crossbow. I should show that. Let's go down to. Let's get some composite bolts. Put them in this crappy one that I just got here. And I put all of the bolts and arrows back into all the weapons, except for the explosive and the fire ones. Those are still on the vanilla version. You can't shoot that with a wooden bow. There's also an iron bow. So this bow, I should get the other regular bow to show the difference, and not the regular crossbow to show the difference. So your regular crossbow, if you're shooting, I'm just clicking to show how fast it takes to load it. Oh, I should load up the right stuff. So if you notice, that's how long it takes to shoot between loads. This one is probably close to twice as fast. Does take this a special. Yeah, it does take your archery to be leveled up to be able to craft this one. But it is significantly faster. Like I said, I think it's about twice as fast because I bumped the reload speed and I bumped up very slightly the delay to give you a good. Oh, be quiet, water. To give you a good bit of. Oh, I can't hit him from here. Come on. Well, you know, you're not gonna be shooting that far anyways, right? With a crossbow. Probably hit him with the bow. Let's try it real fast. Where'd you go, buddy? Oh, he stopped. You stopped at the wrong time, buddy. What? I don't have any more arrows? Are you kidding me? Trying to show some cool stuff. I don't have what it takes. Yeah, so the bow you can do it pretty good with. I don't know where he is. Somewhere around there. Nope. Oh, it's close. Right in the knee. Oh, I missed. I was hoping to get him in the head. I got him that time. Apparently my archery isn't that good. Oh, baby. So this thing is lethal. Lethal and awesome. Okay. But I digress. What was I gonna show next? We got this little sling stick thing here, which is where's some rocks? Rocks. Where's my rocks? Where's the rocks? I could type it in, but I didn't. Small. There they are. So the sling stick is basically really easy to craft, and it throws stones, but it's very inaccurate. It's using the bow over there on the side. I'm trying to hide it as much as I can so you don't think it's the bow, but it's very inaccurate if you notice. Like if I point this little thing here, we went low on that one, over to the right on that. So it's very inaccurate. Will stun somebody a little easier if they're right in your face, but it's not a very good weapon, but it will level your archery. Let's go down the list some more. What else do we got? We've got, like I said, the iron bow, a little bit better than the wood bow. We've got the scrap iron axe. We've got... I color-coded a lot of the arrows and bolts so that I could make the composite ones black, and then I just kind of color-coded the others. And the original bolt was gone, so I had to use the iron bolt and just color-coded it to show the difference. But it's not too bad. Like I said, I'm using all textures that are already in the game. just XML modding. So it's probably one of the easiest way to install mods is just by changing the XML files, adding XML files and the localization files, in the data config folder. So pretty simple, which is what I wanted to try and keep to. Let's see what else we got here. Did I? Oh, there, the crude pry bar. I'll show that too. So this is your basically, if you wanted to take a car apart, you could use this. The hammer will also let you disassemble stuff too, and so will the crude pry bar. But they won't give you as much of the good stuff. They'll give you more of just scrap metal but you can, like I could get a motor by using this, but the percentages are pretty low, so you're better off using a wrench if you want to find it. The hammer's kind of the intermediate one. It's faster, but you're going to, basically it's like you're destroying more material while you're collecting it, so you don't get as many good things out of it. But it does work for disassembling things. What can you disassemble around here? I can probably disassemble this. Yeah, so you would be disassembling this to collect parts from it. And most of those workstations I have give you some of the major parts back. Won't give you everything, but try to find a balance for it. Let's see, what else we got here? We've got... where else am I going here? I think... Oh yeah, you also got a spiked... The Extermination Club. So it's like an advanced spiked club. I think you can only craft it... I want to say you can only craft it in a forge. But it's a nasty bugger. But you have to get the leveling for it. You're gonna have to level all the way through blunts, through your 100 points of, I think it's at level 80 maybe, or you can get this one. So you'll be using some of these others before you get there. But you can be a badass with it at the end. A lot of this is when you get to the end game. What do you do? Well, there's some really cool weapons now, just to make it a little bit better when you get there. Let's see. Oh, yes. Okay, so you've got your mini bike chassis. I also have mini bike crafted parts and mini bike non-crafted parts. These are... Let's just drop some of this stuff. So these are ways... Now, like I said, the Daryl... Redneck Daryl starts with these. So they are basically... I have made it so you can assemble them into an item. The 4 parts you'll see here. So you can then just click assemble, take out the extra parts, and then you could put this frame down and add the parts to it like you normally would. So it's just doing 2 sets of those. You just assemble it back together and you throw these in there. If you want to carry your bike around compact, well, there you go. Want to carry another bike around in your bike? There you go. It only takes 2 parts instead of 8. And shift clicking it won't add it to your bike, like dump your basket or something crazy like that. Oh, it's getting late. Let's change the clock again. What was that? What did I do? That was weird. Let's hit the escape key and just move the clock back, because I don't want to deal with nighttime right now. I'm trying to explain stuff. Oh, yes. And most of these, I've done this in different ways. You can only do these. Notice how it's a gun, showing a gun in my hand. It's not actually, it won't do anything like the gun. Apparently it pretends to shoot like the gun, which I should probably remove, but that doesn't really hurt anything. But the only way to create these assembled items is by using it in a previously assembled model. So I just use the pistol for these, because that's the way to get around it. You can't like use the mini bike chassis as an assembled piece, or like I would love it. I could have used just a regular bag, but it wouldn't let me, so that's what I did. So let's see what else we got here. Is that all those? Do we get all the ones in the first section? Where did the mini bike stuff go? Oh, there it is. What else else did I put in here? Oh yes, I also made it so that we already tossed the shotgun, but I removed the sawed-off shotgun barrel and the sawed-off shotgun handle. If you want to make either sawed-off shotgun or the regular shotgun, you just use the regular shotgun parts and you assemble it differently depending on which way you want to go. Most people, I think, are just going to do the regular shotgun, but if you want a sawed-off shotgun, you just use the regular parts. Just removed a few pieces from the game that seemed to be too repetitive and not worth the extra space that it would cause in the game. Let's see what else we've got here. Bags. Okay, so we got lots of bags here. If you would like to have a full set of steel mining tools with you all the time, you put them in a bag, you put them in your inventory, and there they are. You pull out what you need and you put it back away, you're good to go. Same with the iron tools. I did that for repair tools also. Bladed weapons, blunt weapons. And then as like a little extra incentive to collecting all the parts together, if you collect, say, all the mining tools, now I switch over to it, guess what? It's an auger. You can also put the auger in here too, but it doesn't show it. The auger would go right here where the flashlight is, so you can actually have an auger inside the auger, just not a bag of mining tools inside the auger. Hope that made sense. If it didn't, I don't know what to tell you. Play with it. Figure it out. It makes sense. So some of those higher level, so having all the parts of a certain one, I think I did it just for I think all the repair tools gives you a nail gun. I don't think there's any, is there anything for the bladed? Oh yes, the bladed tools give you a chainsaw. But you know, you have to have the elite knife there, so you're not gonna really get it till you're way up there. The blunt weapons probably did something too. Oh, I just went with the chainsaw too because there wasn't anything cool to do with it otherwise. And then we have armor bags. So with armor bags, yes, it does look like a... Oh wow, it's right in my face. I actually used a different one before. I think somehow it got messed up. But this... Oh, there we go. It puts it... Oh, that's lousy. It puts it in front of your face, and when you click it the first time, it goes away. That's kind of weird. I think it carried over from whatever else I was using before. Anyways, so this is same thing. As you assemble all of a certain type of armor, and just the way the game goes, it doesn't show this one down here, but if you get like a cloth hood, you can also add it to this. The default for pulling it out of the creative menu, though, doesn't have it in there, but you can put the cloth hood in there. While we're talking about cloth, cloth also now provides a negative insulation. So if you are in the desert and you want some extra insulation, make something out of cloth. I really don't like the way that they've made the game hot and cold stuff, so I tried to compensate for it a little bit better. I would have preferred if there was like an insulation level, like if you're in the desert, some things will cool you down. If you're in the cold biome, some things will heat you up. But depending on what it is, like you probably wouldn't get cooled down by wearing animal hide in the desert. But you know, some of the middle grade things I think should be a buffer. You know, that's the way clothing works. It's a buffer against cold and heat depending on what you do. So anyways, I compensated for it by adding a few extra things. I think I made it so you can craft a t-shirt and denim shorts also, probably is what I did. Because I just find some of that tedious. If you don't like it, don't use it. If you want to play it more hardcore than that, go right ahead. Go searching for that stuff and feel like you're exhausted and for no reason at all. When there's other things you could do in real life. It's up to you, but I don't, and I won't. So that's what I did. Let's see. So there's one for each of the major sets of clothing. So you got the cloth, animal hide, leather, scrap, iron, military, hazmat, and bandit. All those have bags where you can put them in and keep your clothing sets. So if you want to keep a bandit set and you want to keep a animal hide set for when you go to the winter biome, by all means do that. You don't have to carry 8 pieces around with you or 4 extra pieces. You just carry 1 extra piece that has all those in it. And that solves the problem there. Let's see, there's all the pipe parts. I did make it so you could craft I think I already said it though, the bandit armor on a higher level. You can also craft military armor, but like I said, it's not easy to get there. There's a lot of steps to get up to it. You'll have to look through the recipes and the perks to find it out because I'm not going to explain it all right now. What else do we got here? Nothing else there that I see. We do have where is it? Oh, I'm right on it right now. The headlamp goggles, which are like a light that shines from the goggles. I tried to make it work as good as I can, but apparently it has a bug that if you get off the mini bike, it like points the light to the side. When you start the game, it points the light to the side. So it's not the best option, but if you wanted to have that rather than night vision, if you wanted a cool helmet on your head and you wanted to have light, then great. I made it before the night vision was like halfway decent. So really, night vision is the way to go if you want a helmet other than the mining helmet, which I never use the mining helmet. I don't like it. I'll use a light on my gun first. I enabled the gas mask kind of as a military piece. Not a whole lot different than something between the bandit mask and a bandana. I don't, somewhere in between there, anyways. I made it so you could craft a lot of. There's a perk in there for crafting. The scrap armor perk allows you to craft facial piercings and goth clothing. I did different stuff like that. You can craft night vision goggles now, but you have to have a lot of perks to get to that. So you're not just going to be. There's a lot more you can do, but you have to put in the effort to get there. Let's put it that way. Let's see, what else do we have here? Edible plants. That's what I've used to be able to make the resin and the plastics, be able to scrap stuff down. We've got so you'd scrap down corn to get edible plants. You can also scrap most of your seeds down to seed mix. Oh, is that what I call it? Where is it? Seed. I have to type it in because I don't see it. Seed. Oh, seed mix snack. Where did it go? Oh, there it is, seed mix. So you can craft all these seeds down to the seed mix, and you can use the seed mix to grow edible plants, but you can't craft edible plants into seed mix. I wanted to have a way to make it so you could use all of them together, but so it wasn't an infinite source. So, like it says on here, I think it says it on here anyways, that it's not, or maybe it says it on the actual edible plants. Yeah, the edible plants are not how did I put it? Not a sustainable primary crop. So you can only get them by putting seeds down that you've crafted to seed mix from other plants. So if you wanted to make a big crop of edible plants, you can't. You have to grow other things and turn them into those. So it's kind of a way of limiting it so you don't just have this single crop of edible plants and seed mix that you just grow all together. But you can eat these. You can also use I was trying to put down the seed mix, what I was trying to do. You can also, you can plant them. See, there it is, it's planted. And you can also use fertilizer on the edible plant seedlings. No, you can't do it directly. You have to use a hoe. What would I have to do? Let me see. Is that what I did? Yeah, I think I used a hoe. I don't know. I don't use this one as much. And I've been doing more modding than I have been playing. Yeah, so it will turn it into an edible plant. And you notice the edible plant, it is the plant you find in the forest biome. So the forest biome is loaded with food. It is the healthiest area. So if you want to go live there, by all means, there's lots of edible plants. So you pick the edible plant. There you go. You've got another edible plant that you got from a seed. Yeah, there's different recipes. You can make glue. You can make resin. You can make plastic. You can. It's part of the recipe for making fertilizer. You can make feathers, and you can also use it to make some stew. But it's not as good as using just regular vegetables. That was intentional. You'll need more of it than you would of regular vegetables in order to do that. What else do we have here? Just keep going and going and going, because there's so much to tell you for anybody who cares about what is going on with this mod. Let's see. Oh yes, I changed the boiled meat into bottled meat, because you use a bottle to cook it, and when you eat it, you get the bottle back. So like, num num. I'm eating some bottled meat, and I just got a bottle. As you see in the right hand, it says +1 bottle. I also took out every recipe that required using a bottle that didn't give you one back at the end. We all know water is abundantly available enough, but I just thought it was so silly having jars that magically turn into food that you eat. So you're eating glass all the time? I don't know. Whatever. So I really removed it because I didn't want to carry on a bunch of extra jars. I'm going to reuse the jars that I have. If I was in survival mode, that would be practical. That's what I would do. Just one of those tedious mechanics that I think should have been thought out a little bit better. So I just pulled back from it a little bit and called it good. Let's see. More. What more do we have? We have. Let's make sure we didn't miss anything else up here. Parasitic plants. Oh, you can. Where is the? It's probably in the seed area. You can now use the aloe plants. You know, you can make aloe cream that gives you 10 points of health back. Here it is, aloe cream. Yeah, will give you 10 points. If you use just one aloe plant, you'll get like 2 back, I think. Is that what I did it? Let's see. Aloe. You can't make a bandage with it, but the aloe plant that you would plant, you can also just use it to get 2 points of health. So it's just kind of like a mini heal thing. You're better off to make the cream and use that though, but it will work. You can do something besides throw it on the ground when you don't have enough to make cream. That was kind of my point for doing that. What else do we have here? Oh, there it is. It's down there. Let's see. We've got. I did take out the broken glass injuring you. I didn't want to accidentally chew glass. For those of you who really want to chew glass, change it back yourself. Oh yes, first aid, antibacterial. It says now. So I also removed blood bags and blood bag kits because, well, I worked in medical and I didn't like the idea of using other people's blood randomly, and it was just one more item that I didn't think was necessary. several different reasons that I just said forget it. I'm throwing it out. We now required to use some kind of antibacterial pill in order to make first aid kits rather than having blood bags. And you need a first aid bandage also. So it will now heal a minor infection. You'll still need antibiotics if you let it go too long before you heal your infection, but it will now do a minor one. Um, yeah, so that's that. I know I'm going to forget stuff because I keep on almost missing some of these. And there's just so much to do, so much to show. There's a destructive learning kit. You have to make a destructive learning kit, which is like a hammer, a tool, or repair kit. They're expensive to learn some of these assembling recipes. You can learn, I forgot I actually did this one. You can learn to craft a mini bike if you get all the parts. Um, so there's something for you too. If you can't buy the mini bike book, but you get all the parts, you can skip that part yourself. It's still hard to get the mini bike, harder than most of your different stuff in the game. Let's see, what else did I do? Oh yes, I added the brain food. Scrapping any of these schematics that you don't want or don't feel like you need. I think the paint ones I did too as part of it. Let's see. Yeah, see, it's got the scrap too. If you scrap it, it will give you brain food. Yep. For an extra skill point. And I also added a developer version of it for 10 times and 100 times. Like 100 skill points and 10 skill points. So if you wanted to make your own character, you could use these. If you start the game with creative mode or go into creative mode, you could give yourself some skill points. But I might add them on later for like combining several, or for maybe a random build your own class, but that's not in there right now. There's enough classes. I don't know that you really need to build your own. Let's see. Let's go back to. Did I turn off the? I didn't turn it off. Let's turn off the dev blocks. Okay, so what else do we got? Oh yes, there's the trader news one we already explained. What else do we got? Keep going. We've got, oh yes, all the assembly ones. You learn to craft all these weapons and tools and the mini bike in the destructive learning, which I explained earlier. I want to add some quests later, but I haven't really added any of those. Here's all the quests for the bonuses. You could give yourself multiple bonuses. But if you go over 100 points, if what it would give you would be more than 100 points, it just won't give it to you. So you really can't use a whole bunch of them together unless you look closely at what you're doing or you do the really high ones. You also can't wait to use these until later in the game, because if you level something up too far and then get the bonus and it goes over 100, it will, or it goes over the max, it will just negate it. So don't do it. Use it early. Use your little class system right when you start, because that's really where you want it. I don't know why you would wait, but just that would break it if you did it that way. Like I said, the machete is crafted in the forge. I did not use the crucible. It was added in later, and I really just didn't feel like it was necessary for me. I was using the calipers, but I was kind of glad when they get rid of them because it didn't work well for me. So you've got workbench hardware, gas forge base components, the blowtorch, a few extra tools that I added in order to make things run smoother. Is that all I did? That's a lot of stuff. Not all I did, but yeah, there's the resin, there's the duct tape and leather. I know there's more stuff that I've done. I'm just trying to remember what else I would tell you that would be handy. I already explained all the extra skills. Most of them, if you can't just click through here to find out what you get, like on science here, if you go to science 10, oh, science doesn't do any bonuses. If you do construction tools, okay, construction tools. If I go to level 60, it says it up here. You go to level 60, it says, okay, now you get the recipe if you go to 60. But I have listed most of those up here so you can see what it's going to be to get to those. It's the action skill ones are the ones that are going to be not obvious by scrolling through here. It's going to be a matter of actually looking and seeing in here for the action skill ones. The rest of them are easy enough. You just click through them anyways. Thought I heard somebody over here. So I don't think there's anything else that would be really important to show on here. I did add a few of these. I added for the edible plants to explain it on the journal notes, which was complicated to add. If you know how to do it, great. If you don't, it doesn't matter. And finish this off. I think I gave you like 1 skill point for completing it or something. Really not that important. Just remove it if you don't want it. And I really want to say that I'm done. I know I'll think of something when I go off. I'll be like, oh man, why did I forget that? I don't really want to talk too much about the other plans I have for the future because if it doesn't happen, I don't want to disappoint people. If it doesn't work out the way I wanted to, I might not use it. Oh yeah, one more thing. I also made it so you can craft auto turrets. Since you can now make your pistols automatic and silenced if you use the parts that would take for a silenced pistol, you can now make an auto turret. So there is a quicker way to make an auto turret than only finding SMGs, but you have to get the conversion perk and you have to convert parts. You can't just craft parts. I didn't want to make it so you could just craft weapon parts. It seemed like it was a little too easy, but if you want to convert pistol parts by getting the perk, you can make more auto turrets because it basically works the same. Having the auto pistol works the same as an SMG. Uses the same ammo. Rapid fires up to 15 rounds. It will still look like there's an SMG there, but you just craft it using the pistol stuff. So, that's going to be late game stuff, or if you get the right one, the right class for it, you can do that. I want to say that's all I've got. I've got some other ideas for, well, I'll just say them. Other ideas for maybe a single battery bank or a single engine bank. Just some extra ideas that might be nice to try out. But nothing in particular that things are pretty well wrapped up for this. I know I'm going to keep adding, and I'm going to have some. I wanted to jump into some other areas of the modding of the XMLs that I haven't messed around with a whole lot, but really this is where I like where it's at right now. I finally got something that I feel like I would like to play when I'm just tinkering around with myself, or for co-op, something like that would be cool too. So if you have any questions, I am on the forums under Wandering Shadow. I've got my YouTube channel, A Veiled Pursuit, which I hope to do some videos on here again. I took several months off here while I was working on the mod, and like I said, didn't have a good place to do my recording. It's still not as good as where I used to record, but hopefully I can get back to recording some stuff. But if you have any questions, go ahead. Feel free to do those. I've also got Twitter. I don't check it as often. Under Veil Pursuit also. But feel free to send me a message. Any of those locations, and I'll see what I can do. I'll post it on the Nomad Wanderer Lifestyles classes mod, and hopefully I can get back to you there also. So, thanks for watching. And it's so long since I did video, I don't know how to exit anymore. But there's something else I was gonna say. Oh well, I should just go. So, get on with your pursuit. Bye.